I'm going to show you how to get all 4 stars in Incursion in the Athena Crisis main campaign. The skills you pick are extremely important. I recommend absolutely 100% taking Bazu's Bond. This skill is pretty much necessary and was designed for this particular map, so make sure to pick it up. I'm not sure if you need a second skill, but if you do, beat the main campaign so you get a second skill slot and then just tack whatever else you want on there. Though honestly, I think you can do this with just one skill, but it feels a little better to add attack up plus 5%, so I'm just going to do that. Alright, I'm going to hold left click to skip the dialogue. Now, on this stage, we cannot let our Saboteur die, and the enemy is going to try their best to kill the Saboteur. There's a couple important things we need to note. First of all, power is just 2. That's pretty easy to achieve as long as we're playing reasonably well, but we can't let our units completely get wrecked either. We need to beat the whole map in 10 turns, and we need 10 one-shots over the course of the game. If you have a skill that gives you more attack up than plus 5%, you might be tempted to use it, but don't use anything that increases the cost of your dudes. If you increase the cost of builds, the level will only get harder. The first one-shot is attacking this bomber from exactly this tile. Attacking from the road just doesn't kill it in a single hit, so attack from this tile and take it out, and you've got your first one-shot. Don't worry about your anti-air, it won't get destroyed, the alien will only take away some of its fuel and ammo. Now, our main strategy for this map is to actually ignore these buildings and allow the enemy, weird as this sounds, to destroy them. That's going to give us a lot of charge for our ability, which we really want. But we will build from them on the first turn. It's good to get an anti-air over here and an extra anti-air over here, as they will be very helpful throughout the entirety of the level. Now, as far as Arvind is concerned, we're going to kind of keep him over here and try to grab this airport as quickly as possible so that we can start building fighter planes and bombers. We're going to use Bazu and destroy this alien from over here so that this alien can't hit you. Over here is fine too, but I think this tile's better. And we got another one-shot. Already we've gotten 2 one-shots, but don't worry about those so much. You're going to get a ton later on. For right now, we're just playing through the level. I'm going to bring Arvind down here and just kind of surround Arvind with lots of troops. I'll put the APU over here. Maybe we'll get a pick on an alien. And we'll start bringing this Pioneer over here. We really want it to grab the airport as soon as possible. From the bar, you can build a bear with a bazooka because you took up Bazu's Bond. That's the main reason you need that skill in order to build these bears. Okay, I'm going to end my turn. Now, this initial part is very, very tricky. What we want to do is try to bait all of the enemy bombers into our bears and anti-airs, taking them out and sneakily grabbing the airport as quick as we can. If we do all this really well, we should have a very nice position for the end game. All of my anti-airs are going to retreat. That's right, they're going to run away. We're going to use this bear to finish off this alien for another one-shot and use the APU to finish off this alien for yet another one-shot. Now here's where things get a little tiny bit tricky. Retreating this over here. We really want to grab this turn if we can. But can we safely put the Pioneer here? I found that you kind of can. As long as you put more valuable units around the Pioneer, the bombers won't go for it and you'll be totally fine. Make yourself a couple extra bears, and they'll really help fighting all of this. Also make sure that Arvind is not in range of any of this nonsense. Don't worry if the bombers kill this building or any of these buildings. We're totally fine with that. In fact, we want it to happen because it'll give us a ton of charge, and you'll see we really need that later. So I'm going to end my turn. Yeah, and sure enough, they're blowing up the infantry instead of the Pioneer. The Pioneer's just not worth enough money for them to go for it, and it'll let me sneak the airport very quickly. They also blew up 2 of my buildings, or in the process of destroying that one, which is going to give us a ton of charge, and the charge is more important than anything else. You can see we have another full bar there. We're going to use the anti-air that we've been building to completely wreck these bombers. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we can one-shot them, but that's okay. Just do a lot of damage and build yourself a nice, fresh airport. It's going to be really great. And then we can take advantage of our remaining anti-airs to do whatever damage we can. It looks like that one's not in range of my bears. I'm just going to smack it with this bear, bring this bear back over here. See if we can get a pick on that alien. Ah, we can't. What a shame. In that case, we'll just try to keep the bears out of their range. Try to keep Arvind surrounded at all times. You can press the A button to look for a tile that the enemies can't attack, and if you don't see such a tile, consider building more units. I love building a medic on this map, not only because, well, it's blocking for Arvind right now, but you can heal Arvind if he takes any damage, which is a neat trick that you want to remember. Also notice I'm sort of like retreating back this way because I cleared all the enemies on this side of the map. There will be more later, they're gonna spawn in, but for now this is a pretty safe place and it's kind of why I'm retreating backwards like I am. I recommend retreating just a little bit. You don't want the enemies to take over your bars like what's sort of happening to me right now. You want to drive them out if they start to do that because you're gonna need all your bars except that one for the end game. Here's where things start to get a little bit fun. We only have about a bar and a half more until we're ready for our superpower. And we have an airport so we can start building fighters, which is awesome. I'm going to try to use my healthiest anti-air to take out this bomber, but it just doesn't seem like it'll be a one-shot. Don't worry about that. That's not where your one-shots are going to come from, trust me. Your one-shots are going to come from using APUs and bears to one-shot the aliens. That is going to make up most of your one-shots. You see, I'm just scrambling them. They're getting obliterated. Try to attack anything on top of your bars first. You don't want the enemy to be able to camp your bars, or it'll make it very hard to use your power later. Alright, this is going pretty well. I'm going to move this bear over here to attack this bomber. And then we'll just, this anti-air is actually out of fuel. Alright, that's fine. We'll finish off this one. Whenever you have a situation where Arvind might be able to be attacked, don't panic. Just kind of take a look. Okay, this bomber's threatening Arvind. I'll put Arvind on this bar, and then build a bear below Arvind. Perfectly safe. And we'll put the medic below the bear. There's usually an easy way to defend Arvind on all sides, pretty much all of the time. I'm gonna do one more weird thing. If you notice, the enemy only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units left. Around now, I don't know exactly when, but around now, they're gonna start spawning units from the right side if I kill any more. So I'm gonna preemptively build an anti-air so I can get an early attack on them. I'm gonna end my turn like this. And they're gonna use their ability, that's fine. I'm not super worried about losing any dudes. As long as your power level is high enough, you're totally fine to get all the stars on this level. Alright. Here's where things get a little interesting. We could use our power. However, this is a me problem. I play the level a little bit too well. I don't want to use my power right now. I want there to be more enemies before I do. So I'm not going to use Bazuzban's active ability right now, is what I mean. Not yet, not yet. I need to do a little more damage to the enemy first. Let's use our fighter to just wreck some of these bombers. Support it with an anti-air. Here we go. Yep. Whenever you kill a certain amount of units, all of the rest of the enemies start spawning in. And I kind of want to wait for all these enemies to get a little bit closer before I use the power of Bazuzban to give myself 1,000,000 bears. You generally want to use it when the enemies are, like, right near you. Now, I could attack the bomber or the fighter. I'm going to go for the fighter, because then my fighters are basically invincible. Makes sense, right? Alright, let's just finish off the units here. As usual, you know, you can use Bazu's bears to one-shot the aliens. That's going to be most of your one-shots. Make sure you're dealing lots of damage to the bombers, though. Don't forget about them, you know. Alright, and yeah, This one's out of fuel and ammo. It happens when they get attacked by aliens, like a lot. All right, Arvin's nice and safe and surrounded. And we're pretty good. I'm not going to use Bazu's Bond right now. I'm going to wait for the enemies to kind of come in on me a little bit, get a little bit closer, and then I'm going to start messing with them. All right, I'll end my turn. Yeah, they're all getting just kind of distracted by this anti-air that just wrecked that fighter. That's fine. It's mainly the alien contingent I want to get closer before I use Bazu's Bond, because the bears are really great at killing the aliens. And I just kind of want them to get a little bit closer before I press the button and make my bears awesome. So at this point, we have a couple decisions to make. I am getting a little bit overwhelmed, and some of these units are within 3 range of my bears. So I think it's time. I think it's finally time to push the button. Here's what we're going to do, though. I'm going to start moving my bears into a position where they can get off some attacks, usually when they're like 3 spaces away from an enemy, because our power is going to increase their ability to 3 spaces. Actually, what can this attack? Nothing? Ah, shame. To 3 spaces. We'll move over here. But I'm not going to attack with them just yet. I don't want to do that. I just want to get everybody off of the bar, because the bar is about to become a very hoppin' place. You'll see what I mean. So, oh no, this unit actually can't get off the bar. Huge mistake. Try not to let a unit run out of fuel while on the bar. The aliens got me. Can't be helped. I'm going to have 1 less awesome bear. All right, just rotating like this. And now, once as many bar tiles as possible are cleared, we're going to activate the active power of Bazu's Bond. During this turn, all your bears will get 3 attack range instead of 2, and you'll spawn more bears. Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and start blowing up the flame, dude. It doesn't really matter if they capture this. They have no money. I really should have killed that one instead. A small mistake on my part. Right, and we're gonna blow up this commander. That's another 1-shot. We're gonna take out, oh, that bomber in a single hit. That looks pretty nice. What else can we do? Can we take out this bomber in a single hit? Yes, we can. You see the insane amount of damage we're doing with Bazu's Bond? This is kind of why I was saving it for when there are a lot more enemies. As you can tell, it's just infinitely better to use it in this situation than the situation we had before. I 1-shot another fighter, and we're just doing so much ridiculous damage. I'm actually going to run my fighters over here. The reason is I don't want them to get hit by too many aliens before they start hitting the bombers, but it's a small thing. It doesn't really matter. Boom, boom, boom. We're just blowing up all of the enemy units. They don't even have a chance. There's nothing they can do. Arvind is completely safe, and we can build more bears. Never stop building bears. All right, that looks pretty good. I think that looks pretty good. I mean, if you look at our power right now, it's at pi. I've achieved 3.14 power. We've got tons of 1-shots, and we're well on our way to ending the level on time. They're using commanding force. That's totally fine. Another reason I'm clustering around the center like this is because I want to lure all the enemies to me so that I can make sure to kill them in 10 turns. If you try to fight in the corners, then some enemies will be way too far away from you at the end, and it's a pain. It's better to just let them come to you. Oh no, they're trying to steal my airport. I probably should have built something on there that turn. This is a reminder, try to build from the airport every turn, so you don't end up in a situation where an opponent can try to steal from it. But if they do, just blow them up with a bear, and you're good to go. More 1-shots. There's like infinite 1-shots. You're never gonna run out of 1-shots. There we go. Boom. So easy. So easy. Attack this. I recommend trying to move your bears as forward as possible to get hits. So that way the bears behind them can step forward and clean up the things that maybe you could have more easily attacked. So the bear that was the farthest forward attacks the unit that was farthest back. The bear that's the farthest back attacks the unit that's the farthest forward. It just makes it easier to get more attacks. but don't worry about that too much if you're not completely sure what I'm saying. It's basically just a way to make sure you get as many attacks as possible every single turn. Alright, we've practically obliterated the enemy here. There's really not a lot left they can do. I don't even need to defend Arvind anymore. But what I am going to do is build a bomber. And the reason is because these super tanks are going to be a little bit tricky to destroy. And I want to try to have some bombers go over there to make sure that I can kill them on time. Alright, the enemy is using another commanding force. They're hurting some of my dudes, but I'm really not that worried. Let's take a look. Yeah, our power is totally fine. Alright, so we're just going to finish these guys off and then start rotating all of the bears over here. But I'm not going to attack quite yet because I do have Bazuzban's power up. First, I'm just going to move them all. You don't have to attack and move at the same time. Fun fact. I'm going to move all my bears first to make sure that they're not taking up any bar space. Arvind can run over here. It doesn't really matter. This one can attack because it's not going to do anything else. That's fine. And now I'm going to go ahead and activate Bazuzban for a second time. Don't worry if you don't get 2 in one game. That's actually a little weird. I try to showcase kind of bad runs when I do a tutorial where mistakes happen. And you'll notice, like, I made a few mistakes. Like, I let my airport almost get captured. I let a unit get stuck on the bar. But I've still somehow beaten this level a little too quickly. I think this strategy is just OP. Yeah, it's so cool when you use that power and one-shot a super tank with a bear. That's just like, oh, that's so cool. Gonna build another bomber. And move all the new bears. I don't really need to. Like, we've basically won. I'm gonna just end my turn here. We do need to make sure, though, there's just one last thing, that we do kill the super tank on time. We only have a few more turns to kill it, and sometimes this last tank likes to stick around in the top. That's why I'm building bombers. They're very good for just chasing it down and making sure you can finish it off if all the bears can't reach. But wait, Sneaky, you say. Hold on, this is a 4-star map. You didn't even talk about the 4th star. Did you even get the 4th star? I did. Basically, all you have to do to get the 4th star is make sure to get lots of bear kills, and we've obviously been doing that. As long as you're following this guide, you should get tons of bear kills and easily be able to achieve the optional objective as well, getting all 4 stars. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you later.